Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna kind of split off. I was planning on putting this in the next odds and ends video because it certainly would fit, but I just think this particular thing is so cool, and I couldn't really find any videos on YouTube about it. I thought it was worth its own. So very difficult to find right now, but found it in stock at Brian Tooley Racing. And this might be a clue for you. LEASH Electonics. No shortage of stickers with this order. That's it. The LEASH Electonics Pro Street module. When I started on this project, this car had cruise control, heating and air. It had a lot of stuff that I'm getting rid of. So cleaning up the factory wiring harness was an absolute nightmare. So I opted just to delete it and start over. And this is going to make that project a lot easier. And I wanted to take a few minutes to show the rest of you how this could save you a ton of time on your race car build. Stick around. So what comes in the box? Your module, your instructions, and a couple of stickers. The instructions are pretty straightforward. We're going to open this guy up. All right, inside we got a bunch of little terminals. That's nice. And then you see this has relays and our little fuse block over here. So here's what's great. We just hook our battery up here, and we hook our ground up over here. And then we have inputs on this side, ignition in. So you put your key to that. Hazard lights, low beam, high beam, park lights, 12 volt output. You can use that to power your toggle switches. Brake lights, right turn signal, left turn signal. Boom, easy. Output. You've got 3 battery positive leads that are on all the time. You've got 5 ignition positive leads that are on when the key's turned on. So like your radio, your ECU, that type of thing. You've got here A in and B in. These are random things. Like I'm probably going to use one for my reverse lights or the dome light or something like that. A and B out. Low beam, high beam. Just hook those up to your wiring harness. Park lights, brake lights. Rear right blinker. Rear left blinker, front right blinker, front left blinker. They make it so easy somebody as completely clueless as myself can knock this out. And here's how I'm going to do it. So I took the factory fuse panel and I removed all the guts. You know, all this crap, the fuses, everything's gone. I'm literally just going to use this as a mounting plate because this... Here, let me take you with me real quick. Here's the body harness coming through the firewall here. See how loose that is? This connects on the other side and cinches that down so it's nice and tight and waterproof. So right here is the inside of that bulkhead. You can see I've already gone through and identified what all my wires do and labeled them. This clips on here, and then these long friggin' screws go through that and cinch the whole thing down so it's good and guten tight. That's German. All right, great. Well, what does this fuse panel have to do with this guy? We gotta like tape it on here? No. So here's what I did. You can do it however you want. I just took some scrap plate steel laying around and I made some brackets. So this little plate will sit on top of the old fuse box, like so, and then this will mount right on there. Nice sturdy fixture right where the original fuses were, so it's so I'm not kicking it with my feet. So I'm going to get this mounted real quick, and I guess I'll bring you with me. So this is just going to clip on. And then hopefully, if I plan this right, this should slip over top of that. Miscalculation. One thing I forgot to mention about this kit, see there's this hole here. You need to provide your own fuse. And for now, we'll just do a 50. Everything's LED, so I doubt we'll draw a quarter of that. But that's it. The module is mounted. Now the fun part can begin. Okay, so here we are, sometime later. It took months to rewire this car. I do have a full-time job and 2 kids that were home for the summer from school. So there's our box. I still need to zip tie everything up out of the way. I got a couple fuses missing, but as you can tell, for the most part, everything's wired in. Now, I did end up having to go back to LEASH Electonics and get another pack of these little terminals. You may want to think about doing something similar if you are like me and have no clue how to wire a car. But yeah, once this is all zip tied up out of the way, it should be pretty decent. But everything's hooked up, and I'm going to show you. We're starting with the brake pedal. I used the factory brake switch right here. So I used, on the input side, this 12-volt out. Remember, I said you use that for your switches. Well, I said you use that for your toggle switches, but you can use that for any of these types of switches. So I went from that to the brake switch, and then from the brake switch down here to brakes, which is right there. So when I hit the pedal, those wheel woods kick in, and these lights light right up. I came off of that same 12-volt output here, went up to my turn signal switch, the Motion Raceworks. Motion Raceworks turn signal switch that we saw in the last video. So now when I hit this 3-way switch sends power down here to the inputs sends power down here to left or right. And then that in turn sends voltage to rear right blink, rear left blink, front right blink, front left blink. So we've got left. I've got lenses here, but I'm kind of holding off on putting them in. We've got right, right. Okay, when we get real crazy, we got hazard lights. Well, they seem to do some sort of wig-wag thing. It's more like a police car. But I guess it gets the point across. You know what? I might have those backwards. That one's a lot brighter than that one. I'll have to check my wiring. So next up, we do have a horn. That seems to work. And I wired the horn through this A in and A out. Reverse lights are B in and out, I think. But here's my reverse lights. Nice and bright, doing their job. And then the only thing I got left are headlights, which I put here down. This is driving lights, and then I don't know if you can tell, it does light up the dash. Yeah, you can tell. Or up turns the actual headlights on. See, headlights. And then who knows what that is? I had to move my high beam switch to the floor. See that? So I do have high and low beams thanks to that guy. And that's my headlights. Dome light only appears to work when I push the button. Opening and closing the door does nothing, so I'll have to do a little troubleshooting there. This is my washer fluid, which is, I currently don't have that hooked up, but that's what that button's gonna do. I use this 12 volt output here to power these switches as well. Of course, I guess I didn't mention, I moved the ignition down here. I made this little metal box. You got a nice radio that's gonna go in this hole once I get this wires nest cleaned up. And then I'm gonna clean this mess up, get the ECU mounted, get my dash put back together. So it is getting close. I apologize. It's been months since I posted any Mima content. I do have another odds and ends video coming in a week or two, and that will cover the rest of the build. The car's done. It needs tuned, but it does start. See if it's got enough battery to start right now.